Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with Yanzi, and we are talking about the Mark Millar. Bit of a spill out I saw on Twitter. Kind of interesting. This has to do with the culture war and comics. Why? Why is this coming up? I don't know. I don't know. It is a thing today. If you follow this channel, you do realize comic Twitter is very divisive, and you can only be either this side or that side, the left side or the right side. And if you have any type of criticisms about comics, whether it's variant covers or prices or anything, or art quality, especially art quality, or people being hired just based off of diversity and not talent, you are automatically Comicsgate. And this is kind of coming up here. Now, first off, I am a big fan of Mark Millar. I'm a big fan of Red Sun, things like that. His Ultimates run, of course, even his Authority run, really great. It pains me, this situation, because Mark is a guy that kind of went into creator-owned stuff. He kind of left Marvel Comics and worked on Kick-Ass. He stayed at Marvel Comics as long as they did Kick-Ass through Icon or whatever, and then eventually just tapped out. He was like, I'm kind of done, and he basically did his comics, his creator-owned books. So in a weird way, Mark is kind of, for the better part, avoided any type of dealing with these characters at Marvel and DC that are getting race swapped, gender swapped, because he's basically been focusing on his own creator-owned stuff, which is a lot like if he's been in a coma for all this time and he just woke up one day. And comics are kind of like this, because now Mark is getting more involved with comic Twitter. He's doing YouTube. Go check out his channel out. He's got some really good interviews over there. He's getting more active in a weird, the new comic way now in that social media. So what do we got?
So White Eastman here tweets to Mark, I have to have two separate Twitter accounts because you can't follow one group of creators because the others can't stand them. What do we do about that? If you ever speak to the bad people, it's said as being akin to fascism. So Millar replies, just ignore anyone who pushes this nonsense. Don't encourage this juvenile madness. Comics should be about escapism and fun. Ooh. It's where people go to avoid division. A convention is 100,000 people you have everything in common with. So you would think that's fine, right? It's basically saying, guys, it doesn't matter whether you're left, right, middle, whatever. You love comics, great, you're a comics fan. That's it. That's all that matters.
Basically, Mark said, you drink water because you're thirsty. You go to comics because you're looking for escapism, because it's entertainment. That's it. It's not about politics. I mean, of course, a comic can be, but generally, comics as a genre is about escapism. I mean, this is a very plain statement, but you will come to find now people are going to tell Mark, no, that's not what this is about.
Right. So you think something like that is like very uncontroversial, right? So the goddamn milkman here says, this is hard. If you click back, Millar starts with an avid defense of comics and a condemnation of cons. I agree with. So see, I agree with. Then he basically highlighting Comicsgate and singing their phrases in the next breath. I hate this. I just want to love comics without this beep. And of course, Mark actually gives him a time today. If you see the comics industry as a partisan group with good guys and bad guys, you need to spend less time online and more time reading the books like you did when you started this fine hobby. But of course, okay, so we're going to actually go through this thread a bit because I need you all to follow this line of argument here and we'll see where it ends up. It's not partisan, says the goddamn McMahon. It's a group that sought to exclude, limit, and attack others that were close to me. They went after me too. I have a personal history here and can tell you Comicsgate is a hate group. Defending them does you no favors. And Millar goes, political agitators in comics forum is like arsonists coming onto a jello forum. It's just internet ghosts. If anyone is rude to you, you block them. It's really easy. I love Twitter and only engage with nice people. It's a terrific tool.
Yeah.
I'm talking about online, but yes, block and meet them, sure. You are retweeting them. Oh, how dare you try and retweet people I do not agree with. Millar, my last word. If you're policing who is being retweeted based on what side someone took in a comic book argument in an electronic forum, I have nothing that would change your mind. Ooh. But of course, the goddamn McMahon cannot stop it. He goes on. You seem to be avoiding that there are real-world consequences, though. If you can't address that and you just dismiss it, then yeah, people will rightfully be upset. So, okay, so there are real-world consequences of retweeting Comicsgate. All right, so bow ties are cool here, says he said real-world consequences as people are going to die or something.
Well, the problem is basically like the reason they say there's real consequences for retweeting a book is he may want to retweet a book just because he likes the book, because he enjoyed the book, but That's the whole thing that this is a big argument about. A book isn't just a comic book anymore. I don't know when this happened. I'm sure Mark's a bit confused about it. Books should go back to just being books.
Yeah, instead of saying, oh, this is a political mouthpiece, this is for me, it's for my whatever representation. It's very important that it gets out there because it finally allows whoever with this demographic to be represented, blah, blah, blah. God damn it, man says, I see real world consequences from con harassment and bullying. Stuff I saw and dealt with personally. Oh, con harassment. You mean like Scott Kurtz when he says, if a comic convention hosts or sells tables to people in Comicsgate, is it wrong for me to pressure them to kick these people out? Because I want it. I really want it. Even hashtags the Comic Con. So yeah, right. No, I think actually the thing we've been seeing is that there's been a way more harassment coming from the other side, from the Comicsgate side at conventions.
Right. I mean, for the most part, Comicsgate isn't even at Comic Cons. It's more of an internet-based movement. Everybody knows that. So to say there's harassment from Comicsgate at cons is laughable. Just for the simple reason that we're probably, if we're there, we're the smallest demographic at the con. That at least openly, a lot of CG creators aren't even doing conventions.
So what does Mark Millar have to say about all of these, though? I honestly have no idea what the politics of any colleagues are. If I follow an artist, it's because I like their work. If they talk politics, I tend to mute. I follow political commentators across the spectrum for my political news, which is kind of sort of what I do as well. Some people say, oh, Yanzi, you follow this person and they're alt-right or they're alt-left or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't like what is called an echo chamber. I like to get my news from all sides so I get a fair and balanced view. And that's what Mark over here is doing as well. He doesn't want to be wrapped up in any kind of echo chamber and be stuck listening to just one side sprouting their words. So I don't know what's wrong about this exactly. And believe it or not, wasn't there this old saying, never talks politics and religion? It seems to be the exact opposite in the comic industry now, isn't it?
Right. Your comic book is based off of your politics. And actually, to an extreme measure, I really want to stress that. Some people think and we're seeing this with cancel culture and canceling creators, is depending on your politics or your identity politics, determines whether you make a comic, which is so weird because a comic is supposed to be entertaining, but a comic is the product of the creator, meaning like it's not you. A comic book at the end of the day is nothing but paper and staples. It's what you can put on it. Now, you being more talented than some people, is a driving factor in sales in comics. And we're at a point in time when comic sales are at an all-time low in the mainstream direct market. To me, this whole story is just like, it's hilarious in a way watching Mark wake up out of, again, metaphorically, his comic coma and step into social media more so and actually see people flipping out that he's not, picking sides. And this was something I found as a comic book creator where people would yell at me like, no, you have to disavow Comicsgate. And I'm like, no, if they buy my books, they buy my books. No, you have to weigh in on this. You have to disavow them publicly. That's your responsibility as a comic book creator. And that is still kind of pushed to a lot of people. I think less and less comic creators are feeling they have to do that. And I see Mark here actually navigating that fairly well. A lot of these talking points are bait to try to get him to lean one way or the other on one side or the other. And Mark's just like, they're just comics. That's it, guys. They're just comics. And at the end of the day, I'm really hard pressed to say a comic book is anything but paper and staples. At the end of the day, some comics are obviously better than others. I am saying that there are better comics than others, but they're paper and staples, guys. And politics and all of these things shouldn't be a factor in buying, reading, and enjoying a comic book. Escapism is my agenda. If you guys will, please hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Also, guys, we have a new campaign coming up, Axcend Respawn. If you guys will, go sign up for that. The links are down below. We'll be launching this August, right?
August the 6th is our plan right now.
Right. So if you guys will, please go sign up for that. I'll leave you guys with a teaser trailer for Axcend Level Up, and we will catch you guys again with another video.